Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Omar from the Bullish Bears team. It's May 3rd, 6:30 p.m. Wanted to make a video building my watch list for tomorrow. I haven't done one in a while, so I figured today would be as good a time as any. Um, and my watch list. I still post them, even though I'm not making videos every single day. I belong to this community called Bullish Bears. We have a website, so just wait for my internet to open up. It's a little slow. What's going on? Hey, what's up, everybody? It's not what I was trying to do. Let's go here, and I don't know what's going on. It's just taking too long today. All right, so I belong to. If you type Bullish Bears, all right. We have a website here, and if you go to the website, all right, we have a list of courses. My internet is very slow today for whatever reason. We have a list of courses here, and if you notice, you have the courses. These are all the courses that you could take. All right, they're free. You can learn. It's a contribution-based, you know, um, business model. So you can purchase merchandise. We got some awesome clothes now that you can be able to purchase, and the community is great, man. We have Facebook, Twitter. Facebook is where we really gather. We got an actual chat room that's almost has about 300 members now, and if you notice, we have Facebook and we're on YouTube. And this is our Facebook, Bullish Bears. All right, so it's a great community. So make sure to follow us. With that said, I'm gonna build my watch list for tomorrow. So so when you go to scan, I look for stocks between 20 cents and $30 that have a minimum float of 500,000 shares traded, up 5%. You click scan, and we got 60 stocks which are listed here. So we go to charts, and I'm just gonna go through all the plays. So and we'll start with FMBC. I actually almost took a trade on this today. I actually saw this stock. I wanna show you guys. Right about here is where I saw the stock. This is what 1 o'clock, right? Yeah. I was getting ready because I'm a trainer, not a personal trainer, like a instructional designer trainer on computer system. And I was about to go teach a class because I had to go prepare, and I saw the stock break below. This was like the lower day at this point, or this was support at this point of the day, and I saw it break below it, and I saw it starting to trend back this way, and I put a trend line, and it was at this point it was about here, you know, and I started going up, and it was building some momentum, and I had thought about taking a trade on it, probably like right here, just to see, hey, risking 1 penny, meaning the low of this, to see if it would continue upward, and I didn't take the trade because I had to go teach, and the fucking stock went up, pulled back, and I probably would have sold right into here had I took the trade, because I would have not thought that it had any more legs. But this thing, to the life of me, it freaking just continued upward. It just continued all the way up. I mean, this stock just ran. And if you look at if this is a 15-minute chart, look at the 5-minute. I mean, this thing, for the most part, stood above the 13 EMA all day, except for this one moment where it dipped below. And VWAP could have been, to wait to see if it was going to bounce off the VWAP and make a VWAP play. But it ripped, man. It ripped all the way up to 35 cents before it came back down. Now, after hours, it's a little bit up. So, let me make a create watch list. We'll put tomorrow's data on 5/4/2017. And so let's see what happens tomorrow with this stock. I don't know what the news was on it, to be quite honest with you. But it was pretty volatile today. It went. I mean, shit. If you got on this early, this thing, man, this thing went from 9 cents to 35 cents. You could have made some real money on it, and it had a lot of volume, 7 million shares. So I expected tomorrow. Maybe it has a little pop at the open. Probably gonna dog shit, right? It's probably gonna sell up, but we'll keep an eye on it. So next up, PIRS, gapped up pre-market all the way up to a high of $4, came all the way back down, and then just started to move. It's really choppy. If I wouldn't trade this because it would be too hard to tell when to get in or out. The only time I would maybe make attempt on this is maybe on a 5 minute or 15 minute chart, because to get more of a sense of direction. And maybe when it broke above VWAP and the 13 EMA right here, I might have gotten in and just rolled it up as long as it stays above the 13 EMA. That's like the only type of entry I would take on a stock like this. Otherwise, it's just way too choppy. In terms of momentum, maybe in a swing, you're looking at it differently. I'm not going to put it on my watch list though. It'd probably be a good short tomorrow, to be quite honest with you. Let me put this back on the 5 minute. Yeah, I mean, this thing is probably going to come back down. So, maybe if you have like Interactive Brokers or Speed Trader or Centerpoint, you'll probably be able to find some shares to short of this tomorrow. Next up, NEXS. Nope. ESES. This thing ripped pre-market, and look, it just washed all day long. So a lot of times these stocks that have these big moves, it's great because what you can do is when a stock rips like this pre-market, and you got the high, you could put a trend line here. I'll give you a tip. You can put a trend line here. I'll put the price so it's easier to find. And at this point, once it's curling, you see how the MACD's rolling and the RSI is hot, you can short it. And you can short it and just take a short on it. Obviously, you need to find shares, but if you could take a short, you take a short on it right here, and you just ride it. And this is your stop because you got it at the high, so you're risking the high. So as you see it go down, you just nice chill mode because you see you're making money. And it has this little bounce, but you still got in somewhere around here, so you're good. And you just watch it wash all day long, And that would have been a good trade pre-market, a short pre-market. I'm not gonna trade this though. Let's move up DCIX. Nope. PBI. BBI ripped, man. Went from 12 to 15 and now it's sort of washing. It has no volume, so I'm not gonna put it on my watches. FNCX. Yeah, this thing's been moving, man. 52 cents 5 days ago. It's at 91 cents. It's very choppy, so for a momentum play, it's kind of hard to get a sense of how to trade this. I would only trade this like here, like right when it breaks. I would probably, on a stock like this, I'm not probably looking at the 1 minute. The 5 minute still may be too choppy. I may have to look on a 5 minute time frame to get a better sense of the stock. And once I seen it break above VWAP in the 13 EMA, like right around here, I might have taken a trade on it. And, just put a trend line here and say, I'm in as long as, let me edit this, make it real white so everybody can see it real good. And say, hey, as long as it doesn't break this, I stay in. Let me see if it gets a pop above. And, you could have made some money like that before the wash. But I'm going to put on the watch list, even though it's kind of choppy, because, it's been gapping up and it's holding its highs. And you know what? I mean, my expectation is this is dog shit and it's going to come all the way back down. But, it's very... look where it is. I mean, it was at 35 cents and it's just slowly grinding. I mean, when it collapsed, it was at $4. Its previous support, usually was around, used to be around the $2 mark. So maybe, it may be a good potential swing. We'll see. MGYN. Oh, let me go back to the 2 day 1 minute. There's a stock that, had a nice move. It's more expensive, and I know a lot of you guys may not trade these higher price stocks because you say they're too expensive, but here's what you gotta see. If you watch my videos, a lot of these $20 stocks, they move. Like when they move like in points, like $2, $3. So let's say, you got, I don't know, $5,000 in your account. And you buy 100 shares at $22. I don't know, let's do that. 22 times 100. All right, it's $2,200, right? So, if you have like $5,000 in your account, take a 100 share position because these stocks move like a whole dollar. Look. Had you gotten in, let's say you would have gotten in here, just hypothetically, for whatever reason, and you rode it all the way up, you would have made a little over $100, So, remember, any green trade is a good trade to me, I don't care. If I'm making, obviously you want to make a lot of money, but if I make $50, I'm happy. As long as I'm green, I'm happy. CRCM is another stock that, it's choppy for a momentum trade. But, again, if I was looking at this and I was deciding to take a trade, I'm definitely not looking at this because it's not enough volume for me to get a sense of direction of the stock. So you would need a bigger time frame to get a sense of the direction. So even a 5 minute may have been somewhat difficult to sense. But if I was going to take a trade on this, in this manual that I'm putting together about like my trading style and everything, a lot of these stocks, what I do is like if I see something midday, so this is like 11 o'clock. Once I see the stock break above the 13 EMA and VWAP, like right in here, I might have taken a trade, maybe using a few cents below VWAP. So if I would have gotten here at 315, 1315, I might have risked, and VWAP is at 1307. I might have risked like maybe 13 bucks. Like maybe put $13 as my stop. Then if it breaks below 13, I'm out and just ride it as long as it goes on. And then move my stop loss up as the stock continues to go up. So that's how I would take a trade midday. All right. I'm gonna put this on the watch list because remember I look for stocks that hold their highs with the expectation that they're gonna be stocks that hold their highs that are usually above their average volume. That's what I like to look for generally. But the stock was 11.59 a couple of days ago. Now it's 14 bucks. So let's keep watching it. LNTH, the stock was 11 bucks 5 days ago. Now it's $15. All right, look at this stock. This thing ripped at the open. So if you're looking at this and you're moving, and if I see the stock moving like this, once it breaks above 14 bucks, I would have been in. And I'm just riding the trend at this point. So I'm putting that trend line now. Let's say I get in here, it's $14. So I don't see anything above at this point. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the trend line. Let me edit this. White. And what I'll do is I just extend this to the right. And as long as it rides the trend, I'm in. So I would have just rode this all the way up. And then once it breaks the trend, like this, I'm out. And actually, if you got shares to short, as soon as it breaks the trend, you could just take a short position right here. Boom, and you could have made like 30 cents shorting it. You could have sold your position and immediately went short. Now that's only if you're above the PDT rule. I mean, obviously, if you're only restricted to 3 trades 5 days a week, then you can't be trading like this. It's so important, guys, and I know it's easier said than done. And I know it's a lot of money. $25,000 is a lot of money for anyone. But if you want to make real money, you got to build your account. You got to get over that hump so you can make some real trades and make some real money. All right, that's it. But this will be on the watch list for tomorrow. NYMX. Nope. It's choppy, but you know what? It's not very liquid. But it did have a very nice move. I mean, this thing opened at 356, and it hit a high at 430 before it came down. Now, what I like to do sometimes, I say, okay, let me see what the stock was 5 days ago. So it was at 515. So it bottomed out at 328. It seems to be gapping up. Where has it been over the last year? So over the last year, its height was at 579. It's had 4 consecutive red days. It had its first green day. Usually when it has a green day, look what happened. The last time it had a big green day like this, it had a second green day, a third green day, 4 green days before the next red day. So you know what? Maybe I look at it again because it has this pattern. Because then it had a red day, but then it had 2 green days. Then it had 1 red day, then it had 2 more green days, then 1 red day, then 3 more green days, then 1 red day, then 1 green day, then 1 red day. So it has a habit, So it may, work to find its way back up at least to 450. So you know what? I'll put it on the watch list. And that's kind of how you get a sense of the direction. Like, you got to see what the stock's previous history is to get a sense of, how to make a trade. All right. So, we'll put that on the watch list. HSC, this thing had another rip. I mean, this market's crazy, man. These stocks are like out of control. HSC, so stock was at 12. It opened up at 14. It hit a high of 15, and it sort of like kind of pulled back and washed all the way back to 14.35, and now it's gapping back up. And we'll look to see where was this stock 5 days ago. 5 days ago, at the lowest, within that time frame, was 12.80. Now it's 15 bucks. So what I do, I look to see what it's been over the last year. And you know what? It looks like it's at its yearly high right now. So maybe this continues to push, but I would expect that there would be some wash here. So you know what? I'm gonna put it on the watch list, and it's probably gonna be a good short at the open tomorrow. Maybe it pulls back a little bit. You take a nice short on it. Again, remember, you say, well, it's $15 or more. I only have a $5,000 account, so you take 100 shares, and if it goes down $1, you make 100 bucks. I mean, you don't have to trade just $1 stocks. You want to trade setups. So look for the patterns, look for the opportunity, and you trade those patterns to make a profit. It's not. Remember, trading is not like a business. I keep saying this. A business, you look for maximum profitability. In trading, you just want a piece of the move. You just want to make a quick profit. All right. Next up, OB, another stock that went bananas from 15 to 18. It's earnings season right now. That's probably why. There's probably some merger here. That's why it's acting like this. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list. LOV, no. PHMV, no. ESSI, it's choppy, not a lot of volume, but it was. I mean, if you look at the stock history, I mean, this was 117, and it's continuing to move. ESSI, I think it's moving because of some earnings or something like that. I mean, it looked like it was at its yearly low here, and it's sort of breaking that. If it gets past 186, this thing could hit $2. So I'm gonna put it on the watch list, even though it got no volume. This is kind of stock that if you got no volume like this low 500,000 shares, you don't want to take a huge share position. If you take a couple hundred shares, you should be fine. You're gonna find somebody to buy you out. It shouldn't be horrible, you know. But this is not your typical momentum play because there's not a lot of volume and it's not gapping at the open or anything like that. So if I was to trade a shitty stock like this, I'm not trading it on a 1 minute time frame. I'm probably looking at a 15-minute time frame, and I'm trying to wait to see it. I'm like, all right, if it breaks above VWAP and it breaks above the 13 EMA, I get it. Like right here, I would have got it and just rolled it up. I'm just putting it on the watch list because 5 days ago this stock was, 2 days ago the stock was 117, at 179 now. So just for you swing traders to look at. All right, APRI, nope. DXTR, nope. RRD, RRD, had a nice move up all the way to $15 and then nice wash. You see, this is why I like shorting, because these are stocks that I look to watch to short, because what I do is I look for a stock like this, right? And it's shitty, and it's choppy, right? You're not sure what to do. But thinkorswim has this great functionality that when a stock hits its high, it calls it out in a bubble, and then what you start to see is that selling pressure come in. So you see the volume bars come in, and what I do is once I see that high there and I see the selling pressure come in, what I do is I put my little trend line to know that's it. This is the high, and why is it not? Oh, I know why it's not doing it, because I got to do save as default. There we go. So what I do then is I say, okay, you know what? It's holding its high here. I'm risking this, maybe 10 cents above it, just in case just for the sake of just in case it just goes above it slightly, but slippage. So what I would do is put my stop loss maybe at like 15.10 just to be safe. Give it a little bit of time to set itself up, and then I take my short, and boom, easy money. So short. I think shorting is a lot better than going long. I think there's more. You can make a lot more money with a lot less stress, in my opinion. I know it's hard for some people to understand that, but once you understand patterns and you understand how these patterns work and how you can see the stock turning, and it happens, pretty easily, then you understand risk management. You'll want to start shorting more and more and more. Trust me. All right. So all right. I guess the question is this stock going to be on my watch list? It was $12. It's at 15. It's already washing. I mean, this may continue upward. I didn't look at the news. Maybe it had some earnings. I mean, this was at $29. Hit its low, and it's been slowly grinding up. I mean, it got a long way to go, like to $17. I'm gonna put it on the watch list. This thing may continue up. It probably wash, and then it's gonna find its support here, and it's gonna continue to go up tomorrow. I think probably. We'll see. NTRP. Let's look at the stock. So this thing, another stock that went crazy. If you see a stock like this and it's kind of like sideways, you're not sure what to do. Your best bet is to put a trend line at the high day, right? So what I do, I like to use the price level. I don't know, it just makes sense to me. So I put one at the high, one at the low. So this is what I do. And you usually sometimes you gotta let a stock. You have to give it sometimes 10 minutes, 15 minutes before it kind of figures out what it's gonna do. So what I do is I put it, all right, maybe it's in this channel. And then what you do is if it breaks below the low of day, you short it, and if it breaks above the higher day, you long it. But if you were looking at the stock, you would have had to have patience. So what happens is the reason why this thing gapped is because as soon as it broke here, it popped on everybody's higher day scanners, and then they see the volume coming in, and then they drove the price of the stock up. And then it had its run in 10 minutes. It went from 901 all the way to 1066. And then, it came all the way back down, So it had its high, came down, and right here would have been a great short entry because you see at this point, right, you see it right here, and it's developing what, a lower high. So when you see that reversal starting to happen here, you're like, all right, you put the trend line, you see the reversal starting to come in, you take that short position right back down, and you could have shorted it right back down. All right. So once you start understanding these patterns, you could do it. You could, especially if you're a short seller, you could just literally focus on a stock like this that's moving and just wait, like you're literally like a, think of yourself like a lion in the jungle, you know, in Africa, looking at its prey. I mean, that's literally how you look at these when you're a short seller, because it's different when you're shorting. You know, it's not like, you know, it's you know a stock is gonna pull back, people are gonna take their profit, so you're like, all right, I'm just gonna wait for my execution and then I'm gonna attack, and that's what you do, you know. So now, is this gonna be on my watch list? I'm sorry, man, I got so excited talking about this shit. You know, this thing completely collapsed from 19 to 6, and now it's back up to 9. So you know, if you look at the yearly, um, you know, this thing's at $29. So, you know, I had 2 green days. I mean, look at this. It has no resistance all the way to up to like $13. Yeah, I'm gonna put it on my watch list because you know what? This thing may have more to run. I didn't look at the fundamentals of the company. Maybe it's a horrible company. I don't know. But all things being equal, this looks like this stock has the potential to move. All right, if it could get past this, you know, if it could get past this 10, you know, yesterday's high, it got room to continue to go. So we'll see what happens. That's why it's going to be on the watch list. All right, let's move on. FEYE. FEYE had this crazy move pre-market, and then we just watched. I'm not going to put it on the watch list. NYT. Yeah, look at this stock, man. This thing went from, has volume. I mean, it opened, and you know, look at this. It just rode, rises a 9 EMA. That's another thing. I don't say that enough, but if a stock is gapping up, as long as it's riding a 9 EMA, this is the 9 EMA right here. You just stay in. All right. And really, what you could do is you could stay in until it breaks, until you see it break below the 20 EMA. Once it breaks below the 20 EMA, you get out, and it never, as you notice, not till this point here did it break the 20 EMA. You know. So that's why I use those moving averages. They help give you a sense of direction. What I usually do is I tell people to put a trend line, because let's say I get in right here, you know, and I just, you know, extend to right. The reason why I tell people use the trend line, because like it takes a lot of the nerves away from the trade. And you know, maybe you sell too quickly, but who cares? You made profit, and it's better to make profit than take a loss. That's what I tell people. So I guess the question is it going to be on the watch list? Yeah, it's going to be on the watch list. So let's put that on there. NYT. This might be a big watch list like yesterday. Yesterday's watch list was crazy, but there was so many movies today. I mean, today's watch list that I had was, man, if you played that, you would have made some money. PPP, no, APTO, IPI. IPI is moving 158 now to 184. You know, there's a stock that right when it breaks the 13 EMA and VWAP, you could take a trade risking what's lower. So the 13 EMA is below VWAP, so I would have said 171 is my stop, and you could have just rolled all the way up, slowly grinded up, but it's moving. You know, 5 days ago it's 158, it's working back up to its 194. I don't know, it's not moving fast enough or big enough for me. But you know, at its heights at 304, it's working its way back to that 190 mark. I don't know, it has a lot of resistance, so I'm not gonna put it on watches. KGC, yeah, man, this thing had a nice move today. Look at this. It gapped up, had the pullback, second push, and it pulled back. You know, pulled back all the way down to VWAP, and then had another push. So if you're watching this, let's assume you're watching this stock, right? This is another thing that I teach. So you're like, shit, I missed the open, right? So it's ripping up, and you're like, damn, I don't want to chase. Well, had you been watching this on the 1 minute, right here would have been your entry on that first pullback. There's people taking profit. You see, there's a lot of volume here, buying pressure, and here's some selling pressure. But right here, I would have took the trade because other traders are looking at this, and this is what bull flag. So they get in right here, and it drives the price of the stock up. Now let's assume you missed that as well. Okay, what you do is, all right. So now you see the second pullback here. He's like, okay, here's the volume weighted average price VWAP. If it bounces above this and goes up, I'm gonna take a trade. So what I would have done is I was watching this. Say I was watching this on 1 or the 5, either or. Once it came right here, I'm gonna say, all right, if it starts getting volume, I'm gonna take a trade. So right over here, right when it's like here, and the next candle is above this at 365, I'm gonna take a trade. And you know what? I'll probably put my stop a few cents below this, probably at 360. and then say, okay, I'm gonna let it ride VWAP, and as long as it stays above VWAP in the 13 EMA, on the 5 minute, because I probably at this point I might have changed and looked at it on the 5 minute, but you can watch it on the 1 too, and you can say, hey, as long as it's above VWAP, I'm in, and you just would have rolled this all the way up. It made some sense. So you could have got in right here in that 360, 364 candle, and then rolled all this up all the way up to like 375 before it had another little pullback. But you see, if you're watching this, you're like, all right, well, it didn't break below VWAP. I'm gonna see if it continues to run up, and yeah, it continued to run up. Look at this, all the way to 392 before the wash. Now this goes back to my short strategy. So think of yourself, you're the sniper. You're watching the stock go up like this, right? This is why you gotta understand why shorting is like the way to go. You're watching the stock. You're like, okay, more than likely this stock at some point is gonna wash. There's gonna be people taking profit. So if you're literally just watching this, boom, right here, you see that little. And thinkorswim is awesome because it has that little cloud that tells you it's the high. You see that the stock is starting to reverse. You see the MACD curling. You see the TTM squeeze stepping down. You see the volume selling pressure coming in, and you take your short and you ride this down. So that's how you can, that's what I like to do as a short seller. This stock was at 333. It's been hovering around that. I don't know where it's been over the last year. 581. Had this big day above this. It could continue up. I don't know. I don't know the news. I would have to do more research to see if it was an earnings winner, shareholders meeting, releases annual, BBB outlook stable. Gross rallies 13 up for top estimates. It's an earnings winner. You know what? I'm gonna put it on the watch list. You know why? Because earnings winners sometimes they move for a couple of days, sometimes even for a couple of months. Believe it or not. So I'll put it on the watch list because it was an earnings winner. So let's see. All right, let's keep moving. AEGS, nope. DPW, nope. RXPW. This thing ripped and came down. It's probably gonna continue up. Let's see. RXP Corporation results. Metrics released, the net income, total sales, income, 9 million, subscription discovery sales, estimates, 82 million, 0.5 versus 81 estimate. Oh, so it beat estimates. That's why it gapped up. So it had this huge move right here in that 1 minute time frame. It went from 12 to 15, which is crazy, and then it came all the way back down to 13. So I don't know. Maybe tomorrow just continues to sell off. I mean, where it's been over the last year. It's at its all-time high. Wow, this shit is, so it's up. It was up there. It's getting back to normal. I don't know. I'm not gonna put it on the watch list, but you could if you want to put it. Maybe it continues to go high. I don't know. Let's see. CLRD. Wow. Now this is what I'm talking about. Easy trade. You see this, especially on the 5 minute. On the 1 minute, it's very choppy, right? You don't see a ton of volume, but on the 5 minute, look how clean. Once it breaks above VWAP in the 13 EMA, you just riding this all the way up. There was very little profit taking here. You can see people just bought and just held this shit even after hours is up. So they must have had some great earnings, man. So CLR, what is CL? What did I do? Oh yeah, CLDR. Sorry, CLDR. That is absolutely going to watch list. Let's see where it's been over the last year. Oh, this is like a new stock. So, all right, we'll keep it there. Keep an eye on it. Only had one so far. It's had 2, 3 green days and 1 red day. Let's see what happens. I guess it's a new company, new listed company. All right, so let's keep going. CRR. Man, look at this. Right at the close, this thing ripped. It must have been some earnings news or something. Let's see. CEO. Oh, the CEO bought a whole bunch of shares. Earnings announced exploring options to monetize some blah blah blah. So it's something happened here. We'll put it on the watch list though. This thing held the ties. CRR will go on the watch list. Again, look where it's been over the last year. It's a stock that went all the way down to $6, and now it's moving. So it doesn't really have any real resistance all the way up to $8. So keep an eye on it tomorrow. FOMX. Put this down. FOMX is another stock that was 411 and now it's at 489. Yeah, man, this stock is moving. So it got some volume. It doesn't have really any volume though. So if I was to trade this, I'm definitely looking at a 5 minute or 15 minute time frame. This is a 15 minute time frame actually, not a 5. This is the 5 minute time frame. And again, it's one of those stocks that you see that bounce off the 13 EMA right here. This would have been my entry just because it's right at that 13 EMA. You could have took this up. Now, where it's been over the last year, who knows? Let's see. Wow, this is one of those stocks that completely collapsed, and now it's starting to gap up. If this stock, and this is what you gotta really understand, right? Keep an eye on it. Okay, where is its resistance, highest resistance? So if you get past 538, it has resistance. It's all resistance points. But if it can break 538, there's no resistance all the way up to 950. So you know what? Keep an eye out on it. See what it does. All right, ANGI, this was on my watch list for today. So congrats to all the people who listen to me and follow me and take trades based on my watch list. This thing moved from 965 hit out 1055 and it's holding. And Angie's list been, I think they merged with another company, and I think that's why it moved. Will it continue to go up? We'll see. More than likely, my expectation is it's so overextended that it's gonna come back down. It's gonna be a tremendous shorting opportunity. That's my estimate. The first day this goes red, meaning the first day this closes below the previous day's close price. So this stock closed at, and what are we? So this stock closed at 1033. So if this stock dips below 1033 tomorrow, okay, expect this to drop significantly and you get a nice little short, you can short this. All right, that's what you got to pay attention to. All right, so that's a red to green, that's a green to red move when the stock dips below the previous day's close price. The previous day's close price is the price that the stock closed at 4 o'clock. All right, so that's what you got to pay attention for too. All right, almost got done, guys. BYD. This is another stock that went crazy. Went from 23 to 24, and it consolidated and it's holding its found resistance. Support. I'm sorry, it's found support at at this 23.69 level, and it's kind of gapping up and it's moving again. I don't know. Let's see what this has been over the last year. So over the last year, stock is at its it's at its highs. It's all-time high. I'll put it on the watch list. See where it does. Take a look at it for you options traders. EXK was on my watch list 2 days ago. It was on my watch list today. I'm sorry, and yeah, it went up to 325 and it came back down. It's holding, found support. I'll put this on the watch list as well. What happens is when gold moves, the silver moves too. If gold is down, expect this to come down. You can make some nice money shorting it. ARCO note, BIOS. Look at that, man. Went up to 178 after hours. There's a guy in our trading room who's been holding this. He has, 20 or 30,000 shares since I think it's since he bought it at $1 or something like that. So congrats to him. He's got to be up a lot, almost 20 grand, I'm assuming. This is probably what happened here. BIOS appoints Steven this CFO, BIOS CFO transition, BIOS relates 27 forecast. Says endings, United Healthcare contract have positive. I don't know. So I don't know. We'll see. I'll put it on the watch list though. We'll see what happens. Usually, what happens with BIOS though, what I see is that BIOS will have a rip and then it pulls back hard. So it's probably going to give you a nice shorting opportunity. We'll see what happens. I don't see anything here. I don't see anything with time to sales, which is interesting. But we'll see. All right. Next up, RYAM. RYAM is it went from 12 all the way to 1334, and it's kind of holding its high. So big watch list here, but it doesn't mean that I'm watching every single stock on the list. I'm just building a watch list of stocks that are potentially tradable for people. GCI, look at this, nice move, 1.5 million shares. It just rolled up all day, and again, stock was at $9. It's gapping up. Might be a good short tomorrow. We'll see. I'll put it on the watch list just for you guys. So GCI. So we got almost 20 stocks on this watch list now. Cara looked like it's coming back up. Had a nice bounce up. And it's holding its highs. Cara is a nice stock when it moves. Usually between $40 and $20. It plays in that range. PYX another stock that opened up at 88, hit a high of 94. And I'm not gonna put it on my watch list. Damn, there's a lot of stocks. CORT. CRT is another stock that it was at $9, and it's holding its highs, and it looks like it wants to continue higher. I'm gonna put it on the watch list. This is a huge watch list. It's like too much. CECO. Oh my God, another stock that was at 1018, at 1095. I mean, this is nuts. This is not, guys. You don't understand. Like, this is not normal. You know what I mean? Like this market is not normal. Normally, you get, like, if you're lucky, you get 5 to 10 maybe stocks like this. I mean, you get like 20 stocks, 25. It's just crazy. KNAIAKAOEROS QRAD. QRAD, another stock, that just ripped. And QOQS, note ARRY. ARRY, nah. Sometimes it'll move. It'll move pre-market. MTBC. Yeah, so this thing. Oh, let me move. Yeah, nah. It had a nice little pop at the open, and then it kind of came back crashing down. And it seems to do that. So if we look at the 5-day, 5-minute chart, let me remove all the drawings. Remove all drawings. And we look at this. This is a 5-day chart. So look what happens every day at the market, or at some point it had a run, right? And I traded this actually a couple of days ago. I made some nice money trading this stock actually 2 days ago. It has a pop. Look what it did. Day 2 pop. Day 3, so it pulled back, but then it had a move, and then today it popped. You know what? I'm putting on a watch list. Every day this stock has a pop at some point, where you can make a trade. So I'll put it on the watch list just because of that. All right. So this is our watch list for tomorrow. We got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. And I put 20. And honestly, I could probably find more stocks. If I went through like the stocks that are on my watch list that are below 5%, like there's probably some more. I'm just clicking through these other stocks. Look, like MVRL. That's another stock that could be on my watch list for tomorrow if I wanted to put it on. Another stock, CECO. It's below. Oh no, it's already on my watch list. So anyway, these are more than enough stocks to watch. And a lot of times, I don't even trade. A lot of times the stocks on my watch list. I'll find a stock in my scanner that just boom, just happens to move, and I just catch it. But when I short and I look, for me, it's easy to short when I'm really like focusing on my shorts. I just find a stock on my watch list that's overextended, wait till the open, and then look for my opportunity to short it. Make my money, call it a day. It's that simple. Once you really know the patterns. All right. So hope you found this useful. All right. Here's the watch list for tomorrow. Remember, join us, Bullish Bears, on Facebook. That's where we really are. We have a Twitter, Instagram, and we have a Skype chat room. It's awesome. It's like almost 300 traders in there now. All right. So have